Greetings from Victoria. My name is Garnet Schulhauser, and I am the author of 4 books in the metaphysical spiritual genre: Dancing on a Stamp, Dancing Forever with Spirit, Dance of Heavenly Bliss, and Dance of Eternal Rapture. And my 5th book, Dancing with Angels in Heaven, is in the process of being published. For more information about my books, please go to my website, which is garnetschulhauser.com. I am also a Level 2 Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique Practitioner, or QHHT for short. More information about QHHT can also be found on my QHHT website, which is garnetschulhauserqhht.com. Well, it's a sunny day here in Victoria, and I hope that wherever you live, the sun is shining as well. We're now getting to what hopefully is near the end of the COVID lockdowns, with all the vaccinations going on around the world, and certainly in my country, and I'm sure wherever you live. It's looking good, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and so hopefully we can all get past this very quickly and get back to normal life. Now, before I deal with the serious topic of today, I'd like to relay a funny story I heard recently. It seems that one day a preacher fell into the lake and he couldn't swim. And as he's thrashing about, a ship goes by and the captain says, "Hello, sir, can we help you?" And the preacher says, "Oh no, God is going to save me." Anyway, a few more minutes pass by and another boat comes, and the fisherman says, "Hello, sir, can I give you a hand?" And the preacher shakes his head and says, "Oh no, God is going to save me." And the boat passes by. Well, after a few minutes of flailing around in the water, he finally sinks and drowns. He goes to heaven and he says to God, "Dear God, why didn't you save me when I was drowning?" And the Lord says, "You fool, I did send you 2 boats." Now, the more serious topic for today deals with a session I had with one of my QHHT clients. Now, as many of you know, the first part of a QHHT trance, which is a hypnotic trance, the practitioner will take the client back to one or more past lives chosen for her by her higher self. And the past life can be a past life, or it could be a parallel life, or even a future life. And it could be a life as a human on Earth, or as another animal on Earth, or even as an alien life form on a different planet. In any event, most of the past lives that clients go to are very sort of ordinary, mundane lives as humans on Earth, where nothing really extraordinary happens. And that's okay, because most people, past lives are exactly like that, and not everyone can have an exciting life as Henry VIII or Cleopatra or Joan of Arc or something like that. So most of us have had sort of very ordinary lives in the past. But occasionally a client will come to a past life where there's something really interesting and extraordinary happen. So in this one case, my client, when she came off the cloud, found herself in the cockpit of a small spaceship. And she described herself as a blue humanoid alien. She had blue skin. She was about the same size as an earthly human, except that she had 5 fingers and 1 thumb on each hand. She had large oblong eyes, and her body was totally devoid of hair. And she was wearing a shiny metallic jumpsuit and black boots that were very supple, almost like leather, but were an artificial material. And so she said that she had been sent to Earth by her superiors on the mothership. And so she had landed her spacecraft on a place in the Eurasian steppes, and it was, the year was, she figured it was somewhere around 3000 BC. So before she left the spacecraft, she turned on her holographic projector, which basically disguised her to look like the natives who lived on the steppes nearby where she had landed. And so when she left the spacecraft, she walked into a nearby village, which was full of teepee-like tents or homes for the native people. and the native people did not think anything unduly about her appearance, because she looked exactly like them, and with her translator she could speak their language, and so there was no communication problem. And they assumed that she had just wandered in from another village. And the natives could not see her spacecraft because she had turned on the craft's cloaking device, which made it invisible. So there she was, like one of them, walking into their village, and she basically knew that her mission was to try to move their technology, their very primitive technology at the time, give it a quantum leap to really help them with their to make their lives better and their living a lot easier to handle. So she found a large tree trunk nearby the village, and she took out her laser cutting tool and quickly sliced off 2 round discs from the tree trunk. She then used the tool to cut a hole in the center of each of the discs. Then she found a narrow, long, fairly straight branch, and she inserted the branch into the hole in each of the discs. Then she found another long branch, pole-like branch, which she fastened to the first branch in a perpendicular fashion. And then when she tugged on the long pole, surprise, the 2 discs rolled along behind her quite easily. And she convinced the natives that they should use this device, or one similar that they might build in the future, to hook up to their horse, because in those days they had domesticated horses, and they used the horses to ride around. They also used the horses to transport goods by hooking up 2 long poles behind the horse and putting on a cover between them, and then dropping the goods on top of the poles. And then this was then dragged behind the horse. So it worked, but was fairly inefficient. So she convinced them that this new contraption would be a lot easier to pull for the horses, and so they could pile more goods on it. And so when she was finally convinced that the natives fully understood how to create and use this new device, which she told them was a wheel, then she felt that she could go ahead and leave, and that they would be able to carry on their own without her. And so she went back to her spaceship and left planet Earth and flew back up to the mothership. And as she looked down later, she found out that the natives indeed were using this new contraption very effectively, and from there on they've created their own wheels and used it for pulling behind horses or for carrying people or whatever. So that was a very interesting story. And I'm not sure whether or not this was the first instance of humans using a wheel. Probably not, but it was certainly the first one for those people in the Eurasian steppes, and it made a big help in making their lives a lot easier. In any event, that's all for now, folks. Enjoy your journey, and remember to keep on dancing.